MontesDeOca here. I'm taking a look at the gold chart here for a minute, and I want to share some of this information or intelligence with you in what we're looking at here with regards to the gold market. If we just focus for a minute on the gold chart, this is the futures contract for gold going back to July of 2014 when we saw the high of about 1347. And what looks to be the case here, if we can take a look at the algorithms here in the blue line, that it extends pretty much across the charts all the way, going back to the low that was made back in November of 1133, which was, I think, the beginning of this up move here. And I think based on just what's going on in the rest of the world, and if you take a look at the price of gold here in terms of US dollars, we pretty much have been in a flat range since November of 2014. But the range has been built upon the support that you clearly see here being defined by the algorithm, by the blue levels that, as I keep saying to you, indicate the highest probability to buy the market. And with this kind of volatility, I think if you look at even just what happened today, we've had a fairly large range now with a low of 1145.90. Yesterday's range was 1146.80, and the buy one area is 1143, which kind of extends all the way, to the low that was made back in November. And you can see the synergy here that the market coming down in March 17, it activated a new setup, and then the close above it the next day activated the uptrend, which is where we find ourselves pretty much right now. We find ourselves almost in the same range as we were back in March of this year. So what you see here is that the market is trading in a trading range between 1307 on the top end of it and the 1130 on the bottom end of it. So if you're looking at 1300 on the upside and 1100, even if you discount, you might say put an additional $30 premium, that from where we are, you're looking at market coming down 1130. I mean, you're looking at maybe $30 risk before, I believe, this move that indicates in identifying this area to be the potentially the lows that need to be made in order to complete this swing or wave pattern. And today's low was 1143 on the buy one. The market came down 1145.90. We're at 1157.80. If we close above 1157, then I would say it's indicating that there is a very high potential that this could be the lows today. If we close above 1157 for 2 days in a row, then we're putting into perspective the 1167 and 1181 targets, or the 1200 handle once again potentially to be tested. And so where we seem to be in a trading range, and we're almost at the bottom of the trading range, and you got a solid $200 to the upside, that I think we can accomplish. So for a minute, let's take a look at the highs that were made back in January of this year. What does that represent to JNUG, for example? Let's take a look. And use the daily. Obviously, we know that the July of 2014 high, while gold was at about 1350, for JNUG was $360. The low so far this year is 1316. Let's take a look a little shorter term. And what you see here is that with JNUG as well, it looks like the market has once again come down into this blue area, this blue zone that I like to call it or identify it as the buy one, buy two levels, which are the highest probability to buy the market and the highest risk to sell the market here. And what this is saying for JNUG is that we are in a critical area of demand. We are in a critical area of support. Closing above 1422 would validate that analysis, or a test of 1350 is possible. But I think going back once again to the early part of this move, we're looking at January high to be about $48 for JNUG as of January of this year. And that puts gold at about 1300. It's currently trading at 1387. 1316 is the low. This is where you want to accumulate positions slightly, to scale down and buy into the blue zone, is what we're suggesting all of our subscribers here in the live trading room at the Equity Management Academy. I wanted to point this out because I believe, once again, these are historic prices that you need to take a look at. Any questions at all, please don't hesitate to give us a call. 805 area code 418-1744. This is Patrick MontesDeOca. Until next time, take care.